And hello and welcome. Oh my, I thought I was taking there, Quantum. I'm sorry about that. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with Quantum. We're both just so excited to bring you the Big East MAAC Challenge action, little Rocket League action going down here today. We got my man Juke down there in producer's box, producing away and making our jobs as casters just so much easier, and we do appreciate that. Now, Quantum, excuse me for stepping on the other toes, but what are we looking at here today?
We are looking at a lot of games here today. We've got ourselves, our first one is going to be Butler versus Creighton, the number 5 seed versus the 12th seed. And a little bit later, we'll have Quinnipiac versus Niagara, the 6th seed versus the 11th seed. And then for the last two matches, it'll be Seton Hall versus whoever wins between Butler and Creighton. And then Xavier up against Quinnipiac or Niagara, whoever wins that match.
Yes, sir. I am with it. You can find out more about brackets and more for this best of 5 single elimination tournament over at EGF's Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. Anything social media wise, you can find it. EGF's contribution over there on the World Wide Web. Beautiful stuff. We got, like you said, Butler and Creighton here first. This is two Big East teams, I believe. Butler.
Yes,
I just
Big
saw it on
East
here.
teams.
Yeah, Butler's Big East and Creighton Big East. Yeah, so starting this off, a little Big East matchup. There is the other stream, of course, and over there going down is a little bit of a different conference and a little bit of different action. We're going to be getting into this one here started in just a little bit, but talk to me a little bit, Quantum, about how Butler did perform the EGF regular season for Rocket League.
Well, Butler originally finished 7th with a 5-1 record. During the regular season, they had a total of 17 games to 7 win-loss ratio, so a 10 win-loss ratio, which is one of the higher ones there was. Very well played by them, and it's very good to see that this team did so well. And they're going to be up against Creighton. Creighton will have their hands full with Butler.
Absolutely. We're going to see how that matchup goes here in just a little bit. Creighton being a little bit of a newer contender. Love to see it. Champions Field, 3-on-3, standard stuff, 5 minutes. Single elimination here today, best of 5, all the way down to the grand finals as well. Do need to note that, yes, our semifinals, our grand finals will not be best of 7. Will all be best of 5 here today. Got a whole other stream of Rocket League going down, but let's get into this one.
Yes.
We got PGP Frost, Whopper, and Whiffer coming out here from the side of Creighton. You want to talk to me about Butler?
The Frost goes up. He's going to miss that ball, and Kai's going to be able to get it over to Astro. Butler is in blue. Creighton is in orange, just as a reminder to anyone who wants to know that. Whopper with a shot that's not on net. Astro puts it to the side. That's going to be a whip there for Creighton as they try and keep it in the zone, but it's not going to be for long. Astro tries to redirect the shot from Siren, but that's not going to work out. Kai puts it up in the air, and Butler, they've been good at this, being able to rotate the ball inside of another team's zone and not letting them rotate it out. It's going to be very tough for this Creighton team. As you see them, they really try and bulker down on the defense here, trying to be strong there.
Yeah, so far in this game, there's not really been any clear advantage. A lot of corner play so far, but individual players from both sides have done a really good job of taking care of this ball when it does get up close and really dangerous, like we're looking at right now. And Astro tries to come back to it, but it's going to be PGP Frost nailing the first one in at 1 minute and 9 seconds.
Yeah, Frost just finding this ball, it just slowly rolls down. Nothing Astro can really do there. And Creighton take the lead. And I'd like to know, you wonderful ladies and gentlemen in chat, who are you rooting for? Are you a Butler fan or a Creighton fan? Who do you have on winning, and what is your prediction on winning? And I'm going to ask this for you as well, Tugboat.
I was going to say, he's going to ask the good people, not even his co-caster. I'd love to see it. Now, Kai coming in through here, tying this one up, but to answer your question, Butler is a team, obviously, that I've seen plenty of EGF gameplay from. Now, this is a new day, and this is a team that could be playing in any... they could be playing very, very well. They could be playing very, very poorly. That is the standard of esports, I suppose, in any competition. End of the day, though, without Creighton playing and me seeing that gameplay, it'd be kind of rough to say who's going to win, but just from what we've seen so far, and based on the fact that Butler is really looking like that on-point Butler that we have seen before, this is going to be a very close matchup. I'm excited for it, Quantum.
I am very excited for it as well. Astro keeping in the offensive zone. Whopper's going to try and get it out. The clear is weak, and Siren's able to keep it in, and that's a double commit right on the defense, but it barely matters. Siren is almost able to score right then and there, but Whopper is able to get that ball from the midfield out into offensive zone territory. Frost, he's going to grab it. He's going to go for the double touch, but he doesn't have enough boost to be able to get that one. Whopper tries to get it over to Whiffer. Whiffer does find it, but not before Siren's able to make the save. Kai passes it out to Siren. Siren's shot is a little bit wide, finds Kai. The redirect almost goes in. The rebound of that redirect does go in though. And that's a beautiful play. Tic-tac-toe.
There you go. What, the rebound to the redirect of the reform of the shot? Like, seriously, that was a lot of, like, almost pool play on that one. The simple fact of this ball bouncing around as much as it did is going to make it very, very hard for any defense to come back at this, right? I mean, the simple fact of having to rotate 3 different times, or 3 different individuals, right? 3 different players. Oh my goodness, Kai making it look easy on this one. Very quick score. That's going to be our fastest on stream number 2 so far today.
Whiffer trying to go up for this one, but he misses, and well, he does what his name says he does, right? So he misses that ball sadly, and the net's wide open for Kai there with half the game left to go here. It's not over by any means.
4 scores in half of a game. It feels like the beginning of a speech right there, but what that's going to tell me is that this is going to be a decently high-scoring game.
Well, I mean, if you can bulk down on the defense, as Creighton have been trying to do, right? Butler, their defense hasn't needed to come out yet because the shots are 3 now to 7. That's a second save for this Butler team. They haven't really needed to come out here to play defense. Meanwhile, it's all Creighton here that need to play the defense. So far, not so good. Like 3 goals on 7 shots. Make that 4 goals on 8 as Kai has a hat trick with 2 minutes left to go here, and Butler have no mercy.
Yeah, the idea here, of course, is that Kai does have that 3rd goal in, 4 shots attempted, but even teammates, even Siren, no goals of his own, still has assists, and still has a couple of saves. Like you said, 8 shots to 3, that's spelling the difference here today, but Whiff takes us over the top and proves that Creighton is not out of this one by any means yet.
Whopper getting it off the back wall over to Whiffer, and Whiffer puts it directly in the top short side corner, and that is a beautiful shot placement there. Impossible save.
Yeah, something coming in that quickly, especially from the top, always going to be hard.
Especially when you're not in position, not expecting the shot to be that precise at that speed, as you said already. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but there's 100 seconds left on the clock here. Plenty of time for Kai to score another goal. I was going to say Creighton to tie it up, but Butler, they don't want that to happen. They are going on a rampage, Kai especially, with 4 goals of his own here.
Yeah. Game number 1, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Not even 3 minutes and 33 seconds into this one, Quantum. The simple fact he's got 4, that's 5. Huge stuff. Expect a lot from Kai.
Expecting a lot indeed. They just can't seem to be able to spot Kai when he's coming down. He always has that ball in a dangerous position. It's quality over quantity, right? Well, they have 5 quality goals on 9 shots, I should say, 10 now. That's over a 50% shooting percentage. And once again, Kai finds the ball in a high scoring area. The ball right in front of the crease. No defender there able to stop it. And that's been the story for this Creighton team. When they find the ball, they're not able to get the ball cleared out, and it allows Kai, who's always in position, to find that one. And that's 5 goals. He's got to try, most probably, to go for the double hat trick, something we rarely see.
Really, dude. 6 scores from 1 single player. This really is monumental stuff. Kind of at least the beginnings of the backpack play, right? Like the one-man band, one person doing everything. If you want something done, you gotta do it yourself type stuff. Really, I don't think that Creighton's playing bad. I don't want to say that by any means. Oh. Really what it is, though, is that it seems like Creighton, whenever they're given an opportunity, they take advantage of it and they score. That's why they have to. But when it comes to creating opportunities for themselves and kind of practicing really well when it comes close to the net, that does not happen.
Creighton just not able to create opportunities right now, and yeah, they're waiting for their opponents to make one for them. But look at this, they're forcing their way in. Butler, they're forcing this Creighton team to touch the ball in positions that they don't want to touch it. And look at that, Frost needs to touch that ball, but it's a bad touch.
The 6th? Is it the
That
sixth?
is
no, it's
no, it's
not.
not. Astru scores his second there, and despite having 7 goals, Siren's still the only one without scoring there. But he has 2 goals and 2 assists, so it's not like he's been absolutely useless there. He's actually been doing a lot of the heavy lifting there.
2
Siren
assists, 2 saves.
Yeah,
Those would not have happened without him. I'm with it.
and a total of that is a lot of shots. That is 19. No, 17 shots. I can math.
That's hard. No, I feel you, dude. I feel you.
Yeah,
17
to
total.
5.
This one not going to be dropped quite yet. There you go. Butler taking game number 1. We'll call it handedly, right, Quantum? Like, that's pretty one-sided. I mean, take away Creighton's 2, take away 2 from Butler, and you're looking at a 5-0. That's, it kind of spells the same thing here, especially given that Butler's looking at 17 shots on goal. This is Rocket League. You cannot score from playing from the defensive side of the goal, straight up. 5 shots for Creighton, 17 for Butler. If this continues on game number 2 and 3, there's no reason to believe that we're going to have anything but a quick 3-0 series for our first little bit. This is single elimination as well, so while we're not in the rock and the hard play situation quite yet, Quantum, we are simply 2 games away from it. And as of game number 1, as of the first game, just what we saw, there's no reason to believe so far that Creighton's going to do anything else in the next 2 games. They're not going to just like roll over and die.
No.
But this was a very, very one-handed game. It was a very one-handed game.
It is, but Butler have
me.
just been playing that much better than Creighton. Creighton have been playing great, but Butler has just been more there. Before we continue on, though, be sure to follow EGF on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We forgot to plug that before the start of the series. How about we plug that in now as we go on to game number 2?
There you go. Yes, all the social media stuff. It's on Twitch at least. I know it's official EGF. Rocket League gets EGF Rocket League, right? Just spelled exactly like it is. Yes, that is the Electronic Gaming Federation bringing to you the Big MAAC Challenge, or Big East MAAC Challenge. There you go. I got it right the second time.
And Butler with a 1-0 series lead. And we've got ourselves quite the series indeed. Creighton, I think they could possibly come back here if Butler falter. Butler have been playing amazingly, but if they start to falter at this point, right? Creighton have been playing very well in terms of when they do have opportunities, they can get it, but they're stuck in their own zone a lot. And look at this, Astru just being a fly and letting in Kai, who scores his 6th of the series, and we're only 5 minutes and 15 seconds into the series.
How did Whopper not get there? Was Whopper paying attention to corner boost a little bit too much there? I have no idea.
He might have boosted over ball, but he was in position, but...
I thought maybe the teammate might have touched him so he couldn't get around to it, but that was not the case. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I wasn't trying to be too negative by any means, but Creighton, you can do it. You just gotta show me. You gotta show us you got something in the tank left.
Yeah, they've got themselves quite the game going on here, and Butler, they're really bringing it to them. This is probably Creighton's biggest challenge to date. When it comes to this, and, oh wow, Astru, he gets the own goal there. That is not what you like to see. That is a good hit if he was on your opponent's net, right? Astru wanting to find a pass to his own player, but it's going to be Frost putting it in.
I think I might have colors back and forth there, but yes, one way or another, some interesting corner play on that 40 seconds into this one, and Butler looking like the same Butler we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, Butler just forcing opportunities. Meanwhile, that's Creighton's job now. Look at this. They force a bad touch, but instead of going up for it, Whopper just waited on the floor. That allowed the ball to get out here, and Astru just taps in the easy goal. The net was undefended practically here. And that's one thing, right? You need to take those opportunities when they come to you. If you hesitate one bit, Butler is just going to take it away from you.
100%. Especially a team proving themselves capable here in game number 1. A score every 20 seconds. That's the average. A little bit less than that, actually. That's the average that we're looking at so far, though. No answers so far from the side of Creighton. Again, they got time. They have the skills to pay the bills. Will they do it? That's the question.
That is the question indeed, as that ball is once again in the defensive zone for Creighton. And it seems like they're uncomfortable being here, but there's no... Oh my goodness, Siren scoring his first of the series. And that is quite the goal indeed. Kai puts it up high. Whopper tried to get the 50 there, but Frost overextending instead of staying in the back of the net. And that ball finds itself in the back of the net before Frost could get back there. And I do have to say, the overextensions, the double commits, they will kill you. But Butler is finding these opportunities without these things even really happening. Normally you can get away with 1 or 2, but Butler isn't even letting them get away with 0.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh,
There's
my
just
goodness.
part of that is just the cleanup play, and Butler is not allowing this ball to simply reach their side of the net. A lot of that individual goal right there was Kai's second touch on this. In the day, it's going to be super, super hard when you have this team, Butler University, who's able to connect like that so close to the goal. That wasn't even an intended pass, it was just simply keeping the ball where they needed to, and that's going to be huge for Rocket League.
It is going to be huge for them indeed. It's 5-0 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. For those that don't play Rocket League, normally if you play a ranked match, you can abandon and forfeit a match after a minute and a half of being played. And normally if you're down 5-0 at that point, you would. But I don't think this team wants to do that right here, right? You want to save face at least a little bit. Try to score at least 1 goal. And it must be really rough for them. Hopefully the comps are not toxic.
I gotta reiterate, like, Butler is not some massive, like, we're not watching like Grand Champions and Copper, or not Copper, like Silver players right now, right? Copper, I'm thinking
No.
really old school like RuneScape. But no, we're not watching like Grand Champion and Silver players right now or anything like that. It's not like that difference in score, or it's not like that difference in skill. What it is just Butler is able to connect on these a lot more. Like you can basically see these comms. You were talking about that a second ago. Butler is simply connecting on those more. They're talking to each other. They're simply there for each other. They're playing more as a team. This is not a Creighton squad that I've seen play in the EGF before, but I can only imagine and hope that this is usually a more well-coordinated team, you know, that they're able to connect on more things. And this game is showing a little bit of the same. I was really hoping that game number 1 would be a little bit of that warm-up and just, you know, like shake the rust off, right? Like just start playing, get in the game, here we go.
Well, it might be a little bit of stream jitters as well, but if you think about it, right, the difference between a Grand Champ 3 team and a Grand Champ 1 team, right, is massive. The skill difference is already massive, just the way they're able to communicate and even more so just play the ball, what kind of touches they get, how often they'll be able to touch the ball, right? And so just that in itself, I could see that this Creighton team being either a GC1 team or a C3 team, and they're up against a GC3 or even a Supersonic Legend type team, and that's how big of a difference this makes, right? Just 200, 300 MMR, right, for each of these players just proves how good this team is and just how much better it is. If they were up against Copper, right, as you said, Bronze, Copper, Silver, whatever you want to call them, right? You'd have players who wouldn't even be able to go up for the ball. They wouldn't even be able to touch this ball because Butler would just be able to aerial it up in the air, and they'd probably have more goals than the amount of ball touches that this Creighton team would have. But Creighton have still been able to find the ball touches. They've been able to get the saves. They've been able to get the goals. They scored 1 here. They scored 2 last game, right? But now it's the Brazil.
I'm with it. So what, Whipper putting that one in, and yeah, actually you're right. Butler, 7 goals, that is going to be, what, more than tripling up against Creighton's total shots of 2. Both of those coming out from Whipper.
The EGF has FIFA as well, right? And, well, I imagine those players, if they ever played against the rookie difficulty bots, they'd be able to score 50 goals in those 90-minute matches. And, well, that's pretty much what a Supersonic Legend team or a Grand Champ team would be able to do to Bronzes and Silvers, right? They wouldn't even let the other team touch the ball. They'd just score back-to-back goals. And it would not be fun, especially if it was a no mercy type of game, right? Absolutely none given. Right now, I know that Butler is not giving any mercy whatsoever, and you can tell because they are going full force, and it's 8-1 right now. 7-2 was the last game, and that's the second player to have a hat trick in this one. And Kai's the only one without one after scoring 5 goals in the first game.
Really? Oh wow, yeah, you're not kidding. Astro, Siren, both with 3. Multiple assists for Astro, Siren with the 1, loads of shots from both of these guys. Only save the entire Butler squad coming out from Siren. But yes, that is the real goal here, or the real point. These points have been very well spread apart in game number 2. Game number 1, it was all Kai all the time. Different story game number 2.
So that'll say that this Creighton team is pretty good. Saren is gonna find that one. That's a good passing play between him and Astro. But Kai with a good 50 there, getting it to Siren in the first place. But Creighton are still a pretty good team. It's just that the players who they're playing up against are just that much better. If they went up against a team of just Champ 1 or Champ 2 players, they'd be doing the same thing that Butler are doing to them right now.
I hear you. Yeah, I suppose we've been talking about this for a little while, so I want to be perfectly clear. We don't have like those definitive numbers in front of us, and of course these are ranks that do change very, very frequently. We're just kind of speculating as to why this big difference would be coming in. And they're very good points, Quantum. I'm not saying like that, but I'm not quoting. We're not quoting fact here. Is what I'm saying.
No, we're not quoting fact. We don't have their RL trackers just here to be able to. Oh yeah, this guy is a C3 and the other guy is a GC3. We don't know these stats. We're just judging off of how they're rotating, how they're defending, how they're positioning themselves, how good they are up in the air, how often they hit the ball, right? Because consistency is a big key to going up in the world of Rocket League, going up in MMR.
The world in general.
Yeah, if you can hit the ball 90% of the time instead of 80% of the time in the direction you want it to go in, you're golden, right? You've got yourself that edge over the other player.
That's definitely the first step, right? I mean, I love Rocket League in that it can definitely seem that simple in so many ways, you know. But at the end of the day, it's like that execution, right? It's like just this perfect physics engine that we have here, and at the end of the day, just literally doing almost like common sense stuff, right? Like there's never a time where you're gonna hit like an angle and it's just gonna pop out like towards the way you were coming, right? It's always gonna be on that opposite side, and there's a lot to be said for that consistency. This game really is. I say this pretty frequently on the cast, right? Rocket League really is a beautiful game in the fact that it is so simple.
It is simple, it's easy to understand, but hard to master. Frost in the chat here saying that he smells the reverse sweep, and Astro challenging him here saying, bring it on.
There you go, a little back and forth.
A little back and forth here, not too much banter as we go on to our match here. It is pronounced Sir Aaron, not Siren. My bad for Sir Aaron, obviously. My bad for you. I've been calling your name wrong for 2 streams in a row now, I guess. But Sir Aaron wanting his name to be out there quite out and early. He's going to get the first goal of this game. Starting us off early.
Wow, yeah. That's going to be, what, 100 kilometers in? So a fast one and a quick one. Two factors you definitely want to have in Rocket League. 100 kilometer per hour goal, and I think use 8 seconds to get it as well. Kai up, Kai over, Kai to the corner, but Kai not finishing that one up. Astro with an uncharacteristic miss on this one. It seems like it's going to go out at the beginning, but Whiffer with a full court shot, full pitch shot.
And Whiffer's been playing absolutely incredibly these last few games. I don't know if you noticed, he was the only one with 3 shots in the last game. He was the only one with a single shot in his team, right? And yeah, he's been playing great. He finds that shot there and puts it in the far side. No one able to get it because of the overextension on the side of Butler, and the game is tied. That is a rare time for the game to be tied. Sir Aaron trying to put it in, but it's not going to be found. Asher with a good flick over Whopper, but Whiffer getting that one. Kai keeping it in the offensive zone. Frost, good clear out there. And finally, we've got ourselves a game here. They said that they wanted the reverse sweep, and although Butler are really coming in with some heat, packing it in, guys, they are really up to the challenge for this one, I think.
No, seriously, Creighton coming through. Really connecting much better than our games 1 and 2. And there's only a minute in as well. This is the best situation they have been in. He even didn't let the early goal really get to him mentally either. Came forth, huge full court shot, tied it on up. Plenty of time to make this go the other way. The reverse sweep is 100% possible, Quantum, just based on what we've seen in the first 2 games. Not game number 3. This is a different story now. It was just unlikely. Now, as it is, Creighton playing like a much better squad.
Much better squad indeed. It seems like they're communicating just a little bit better, and Butler are not too sure how to handle this because their shots, they're quite quality shots, but they're being stopped, and that's another quality opportunity, but Frost is going to go for boost instead of the rebound shot there. That's going to falter, and that's going to allow for another opportunity here as the shot barely goes wide from Whopper after Whipper's great pass there. Frost is coming in, gets it past all three players there. But again, Butler are very strong when it comes to their positioning, and they're able to at least keep one back when they can. And when they do position themselves, they're able to, how can I say it? They're able to at least stop the other team from getting a shot on net, right? Even when they position themselves badly and letting the opponent shoot, it's not on net.
Astro gets past one. Astro sets that up perfectly for a little kick in there by Sir Aaron. I think Butler kind of realized what Creighton were doing. They're playing much more of like an interference play on that, and then Butler kind of gave it back to him at the end of the day, right? Where ball was, they just get a general touch on ball, so it goes towards the other's net. Not necessarily in or nothing like that, it just needs to be going in that general trajectory. And then they just spend literally their entire time tapping, bumping, and trying to destroy defenders. And at the end of the day, that is everything that they need to put up their second. And it didn't come so easily, right? We're looking at, what, 10 to 1, or 9 to 1 in the last game?
Yeah, 9-1 the last game. Right now it's 3-1. It's a lot closer. But it was this close as well during game 1 when they lost 7-2. Also, can I say Whiffer, what a save! I know I kind of cut you off with that one.
No, you're good, you're good.
He was inside of the net, just absolutely following the ball perfectly. And normally those shots will go in, right? Because when you force yourself onto the ball like that, it's going to force it into the net, especially when the other person that's inside of the net has no momentum. But Whiffer was able to grab himself some momentum going towards the ball and got the ball out with a better position on it. But right now, the Butler team just found one goal, and then they were able to find another. When Butler opened the floodgates, normally the flood comes in hard, but right now, Creighton are just doing their best. They are patching it up, but they need to find two now to bring it to overtime and possibly score in the overtime to make it the reverse sweep, right? To bring it on.
Yeah, it's going to happen, Quantum. It's going to happen right here. This is the third game in a single elimination tournament, and they don't bring this one back here, and that's going to be made just a little bit harder. We came into 100 seconds, 3-1. There's a lot more doable. 2 scores, a lot more doable for this Creighton squad. 3-1, average of 30 seconds per. I guess we're 29 technically at 127. It's possible. It's just going to be hard.
It is very much so possible. Scoring 3 goals in 90 seconds is definitely not impossible. I've seen 2 goals being scored in 6 seconds before, and that team went on to win it in overtime, which was one of the most incredible comebacks I had ever seen. It was one of the biggest crumblings I had ever seen. And the worst part was it was a game 3 where one team was up 2-0, and they came back to reverse sweep it. So that one crumbling was the turning point in all due respect. And what a save once again by Whiffer, as that shot from Kai was so perfect, the lob, but he scores his hat trick once again. How many goals has this man scored? 2 goals plus 5, and now a hat trick. Oh my goodness, he scored 10 goals in the series.
Yeah, he had 5 of the first ones, right? Because we were talking about him getting close to 6. The second one, I think he put up, it was 3-3-2 or 3-3-4. I can't exactly remember, to be honest with you. Yeah, Kai is definitely in double digits by this point. Simply putting up that number across 3 different games is monumental. It's fantastic. It's almost a Herculean effort, and everything that is happening good for Butler definitely going to be facilitated by the fact that Kai's playing like that.
Well, yeah, especially when you average over a hat trick per game. That is when you score more goals than your opponents have shots most of the time, right? But so far, Creighton, as we said, they played a lot better this game. This is the game where they've had the most shots, but this is also one of the games where they've let on the most shots, such as in game 1, where they let on 17 shots. This time around, they have 15 shots against them, and this time only 5 shots to their name. Kai's got to try and find another one here, but it's going to be popped up really high. Sir Aaron passing it down to Astru. They're going to try and keep it up here to try and put insult to injury, but Butler are going to win the series with a 5-1 game. Much better showing there for Creighton, but it was all for naught, as Butler were just the better team overall.
15 shots to 5. That's going to be the big difference here, as well as the 6 shots required from Creighton versus Butler's 4. What that tells me, end of the day, is that Butler was able to take hold and take possession of this ball, do a lot more with it, and whenever they were going up and getting aggressive, they were just simply taking value from it a little bit more often. Again, defense is not going to win you tournaments. It's not going to win you games in here. It is required, but playing on that side of the field is just very, very infrequent, right? Like, we saw one score out of, 9, 10, so that's 19 right there, 26, 25 total shots between these two. And I think there's literally one that came from farther than half pitch. That was whiffs, just really huge, just full pitch all the way, perfect shot on. I think that was game number 2. My point being that those aren't going to happen very often. Most of the time it's going to be very, very close, and it's going to be the result of a well-coordinated team coming up, pushing, applying pressure, and just leaving a defensive team with no other option.
Yeah, and listen, the team, Creighton, played amazingly defensively, but when you have that many shots on net, right, you're getting bombarded by shots. At some point, something will fall through the cracks, right? And the cracks were seen, and they were taken advantage of, right? And, well, that's what happens at the end of the day, right? The better team will win most of the time. You want the underdog to win, but Creighton they weren't up to the challenge.
Indeed. We got, I believe, a couple messages here from a couple of our schools, from Butler and from Creighton. Then we got a little interview action. Yes, that is with the heavy hitter, Kai, from the side of Butler. We'll have him in here in just a couple minutes. Don't tune away. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with you guys in just a little bit. And we are back here live. The Big East MAAC Challenge continues now. I'm FBI Tugboat. I got my man Quantum Deathcat here. And we got Kai. Oh, yeah, okay, Kai. I looked at the first name there for a second. I thought I said it wrong. Kai from the side of Butler University coming on here, giving us a minute of his time after the game to talk about what just happened. Kai, you with us?
Yep.
Hey, how are you, my guy?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I can imagine. Or what performance like that. Let's hop right on into this one. I wanted to ask if there was any kind of definitive change from your game 1 game plan total as Butler University, the game 1 game plan to game 2 or game 2 to game 3. Any changes in game plan?
Sure. We've never really faced a team like Creighton before. I'm not really sure if they're new. I know they're in the Big East, but we have actually not played them at all this season. So we didn't really know how we were feeling coming into it. Okay. Game 1, we were actually pretty confident, but I think it took a little bit to get back into our grooves in game 2 and 3. But I mean, once we had the communication, the passing, just everything was there. We felt pretty confident in the win.
I'm with it. So what? I guess you just kind of came in generally and then played it out, and then once you realized that the things that you were doing were working, there was no need to really switch anything up too much. Then that makes a lot of sense, I think. You guys are playing the Seton Hall next, but any matchups after that, given that you win, of course, given that you win, there's a single elimination tournament. The seeds will be determining who you play after that. I wanted to ask you if there was any teams in particular that you really did not want to see there in the rounds after Seton Hall in the semifinals or finals.
I don't know about the teams for cross conference. I have no idea how good any of them are. But
fair.
Going up against all the Big East teams, I think we're confident to beat any of them. We did play Seton Hall earlier this year, and we did give them their first loss. But honestly, I just want to play any team. I like to get that experience. So I don't think we're really afraid to go up against anyone. I think we can beat them all.
There you go. I like it. He wants the smoke from any team foolish enough to play them in the Big East MAAC Challenge. I love it.
I like it a lot. How important was it to not double commit and not and the communication, right? Communicating with your teammates to make sure that you guys really put this one in the bag. And how important will it be up against a team like Seton Hall?
It's definitely important. The communication's definitely the footstone that we need to win. If the communication's not there, everything kind of falls apart after that. So it was extremely important that everything was there and we weren't double committing. We knew who was going and when. And especially versus a team like Seton Hall, we know they're good. We took them to game 5. So it was already a pretty close matchup, and we're going to need to play our best. We can't double commit.
That is very well said indeed. Any parting words before we go off here to our next matchup?
I mean, I guess I'll see everyone when we win the whole thing.
There it is. You heard it
There's
from the
the
man
confidence.
himself. I like it. Kai with the words of confidence. Yes, is man Quantum here. Kai, I want to thank you for coming on in after the game, giving us a minute of your time to kind of get a little bit of insight about this competition, how it went down.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck in your ensuing matches. We got Butler coming up here in just a little bit. We are going to go to the shortest of breaks. And we'll be back with you with Quinnipiac and Niagara in just a minute. Do not tune away.